Finally got my pills sorted. Morning, afternoon, and night. Woohoo! Hey everybody. It's 10:11 a.m. I've been awake since about 9:15. I'm at the eye doctor with my dad. He's possibly getting his eyes dilated, so he needs to have someone to drive him home if that's the case. So I'm just sitting here. I didn't fall asleep till like 5 a.m. So, yeah. It's about 4 hours of sleep. Oh, I can't function on that, you guys. That's why I have this, because I'm going to try and sleep for a little bit. Go to nap while he's in the doctor's, and then I'm going to go home and probably go back to bed. Because I have a counseling appointment at 2, and I want to be able to be awake for that, you know? It'd be nice, so... Oh man, my heart's freaking out again. Like, literally, all I'm doing here is laying here. I mean, look. Ooh, just laying here, talking, and my heart is pounding out of my chest right now. Oh, I can't wait till I get this crap figured out, because this is freaking annoying. I finally got the cardiology paperwork, but I haven't been able to take it to the doctor yet. I was gonna do that yesterday. Didn't get to it, obviously. Maybe today. But the thing is, the counselor is in the very opposite direction of the cardiologist. I don't know what I'm going to do. It depends on how tired I am after my counseling appointment, I guess. Maybe I can drive out to the cardiologist, but that's 20 minutes from my house the opposite way. The counselor's about 30 minutes west of me, and the cardiologist is about 20 minutes east of me. So, that's fun. But anyways, I'm just chilling here, waiting for my dad. I'm gonna try and take a nap soon, so... I'll see you guys when I'm awake, I guess. Alright guys, I'm at my counselor now. I'm about 5 minutes early, so I'm just about to head in, and I will see y'all afterwards, let you know how it went. I went to Trader Joe's, and I found mochi? I think it's called a mochi. It's really good. They're strawberry ones. They're like the most unusual texture because inside is like ice cream. And the outside is like a doughy... I don't even know how to describe it. First time I ever had one of these, I was like, that's the weirdest freaking thing I've ever tasted. Because just the texture is so bizarre, but they're so good, you guys. If you've never had one, you need to try one. So yummy. So this is what it is. Leche dessert? I don't know, but these ones are vegan and gluten-free. Some of them do have dairy, some of them do have wheat, but these ones do not. And they're made with coconut. Focus, please. Dairy and soy-free, gluten-free, so yummy. Yeah, if you guys have never had one of these, you seriously are missing out. Hi guys, I'm back from the counselor. So it's actually been quite a few hours since I've been back from the counselor, but I just haven't really sat down to film yet. Okay, my appointment went really well. I adore my counselor. She's an older lady. I think she's probably, I don't know, maybe like, I'd say maybe her mid-60s, early 70s. I don't know, I'm really hard with judging age. Like, I feel bad if she's actually younger than that, but I think, you know, I think she's older than my parents, but, or about my parents' age maybe. I don't know. Anyways, guys, yeah, she's an older lady, and she used to be a nurse for a very long time, so she totally understands like health related topics as well as, you know, your mental and emotional and spiritual health. And she's a Christian counselor. I'm a Christian, and that is something extremely important to me, is someone who can understand my spirituality and my relationship with the Lord and all that kind of stuff, because to me that is integrated in me as a whole. I'm not just a physical being, I'm not just a spiritual being, I'm not just an emotional being. I am all these things combined into one. Like they're not separate, they're all one thing. And so to have someone who believes that as well, and who is able to understand the physical, the mental, the emotional, the spiritual all together like this, you know, all jumbled up, is amazing. So it's been like 2 years since I've seen her, which is insane. But we basically just picked up where we left off. I basically just updated her on everything that's been going on. That was a really heavy conversation because pretty much since December I have had a lot of loss in my life, both physically, like for myself, and then external loss. So I got in a car accident, lost my car. I'm dealing with the legal end of things and fighting the insurance to get a payout and all this kind of stuff. It's really frustrating. A couple days after my car accident, my aunt passed away. A couple weeks after that, my lizard passed away suddenly. That was very traumatic for me. Like, I was not expecting it to be so traumatic as it was, but I loved that little stinker and I miss him a lot. And it was an unexpected death. It wasn't like it was anything like, oh, he was sick or anything. It was just like he was fine and then he was dead. So it was just like, what happened? You know, that was very traumatic for me. And then, you know, a couple months after that, we put my dog down because, I mean, that was kind of a given. We knew that was going to happen because she was 16 years old and she just was, I don't even want to talk about it because I'm going to cry. But, it was time. It was her time, but that doesn't make it any easier, you know? Okay, so all that happened, and then I don't know if I mentioned, but I had a great aunt who passed away in December as well, I believe. And then my boyfriend Josh, one of his cousins was killed in a car accident, and the other one it was his cousin's kid, so second cousin, first cousin once removed. I can't remember how that works, but anyways, his cousin's two sons were in a deadly car accident. One of them was killed, and one of them was in the hospital with a coma for quite a while. I believe he's doing okay now. He said he's just walking with a cane, but other than that, he's doing great, so that's great news. But, you know, it's been pretty rough, and not only just the external stuff, but then my health with the reactivation of my Lyme disease, with the injury to my back and my neck. It's just been a lot of loss for me, and I didn't even really realize it, but when she was talking to me, she was saying that losing my health, I think, is actually more traumatic to me than losing my loved ones. I mean, that sounds really horrible, but I guess it's not more traumatic. I'm just able to cope with losing my aunt and my animals more than I'm able to cope with losing my independence, my health. Even though, yeah, I've been sick for the majority of my life, to all of a sudden basically take a huge leap backwards in my recovery and in my health is very, very hard for me. I don't know. I've mentioned this before, that I'm a very, very independent person, and so now having to rely on mobility aids, which I've never had to do ever in my life. Well, besides when I had surgery on my foot and I couldn't walk, but that was a completely different scenario. This is just because of my illness that I'm needing the use of mobility aids. I'm now looking into maybe buying myself a wheelchair. So if I go out somewhere, like if I'm going to go, I don't even know where I would go, but any place that involves being on my feet for like more than 5-10 minutes, I would need a wheelchair to basically survive, and that's really difficult to come to terms with. It's embarrassing. I know it shouldn't be, but it is. Dealing with the fact that I'm almost 30 years old and I still live at home. I have no job. I have no degree. I can't express to you how much that kills me. Like, I can't even tell you how much loss I feel from that. And it's like I have to mourn this life that I don't have. The life I thought I would have, you know? That's not an easy thing to do, to realize that I may never have the life I dreamed for myself. So my dream was to become a veterinarian, you know? And I'm almost 30 years old. Most people have already graduated vet school. Most people that are going to be vets are, by now, by my age, they would at least be in their residency. You guys know what I'm trying to say. Where they work with other doctors. They would already graduate and be officially veterinarians by now, by this age. Most of them. So, you know, not having even an associate's degree completed is like, it's very demoralizing. It's very embarrassing. It hurts really bad emotionally to realize that I feel like a failure to myself, to my family, to my boyfriend. And I know this is obviously not something within my control. I understand that. You know, it's not my fault. It's not like I chose this life. It's not like I just didn't work hard enough and now I'm in this lot. Like, I legitimately was forced into this life by my health. And that's something that I still haven't come to terms with. And with dealing, again, you know, with this loss of the Lyme disease is back. I think the only news I could have gotten that's worse than that is cancer. To be honest with you guys, that's how horrible Lyme disease is for me. It destroyed my life. It legitimately destroyed my life. I've lost friendships, I've lost relationships, I've lost my life, I've lost myself to Lyme disease. And now that it's back, I'm scared because I'm with Josh and I'm so scared that he's not going to be able to handle it. Because it's already hard on him with me being so sick all the time. I know he tells me not to worry about it and all that, but I do, you know? I really do. I don't want to be a burden on him, you know? I feel like I already am because I'm always having him to have to help me pay for things, and he's not financially well off, you know, but he still helps me when he can, and it kills me to have to ask him for things that I should be able to do myself. You know, my counselor and I discussed all this, and we didn't really get into depth in a lot of things on how to, like, deal with this. It was more just me going in and giving her, like, an update of my life and everything that's been going on, and she definitely said that, I don't know, I think one of the nice things about seeing a counselor, I'm sorry if my light's fading, guys, is the fact that my feelings and my emotions and my thoughts are validated. Like, she's like, with all of the loss that I've had recently, she said that she actually thinks that I'm coping quite well, considering, because I, you know, which I guess I would agree in a way. Like, obviously, like, I'm not coping well, but I'm coping better than I think some other people would be if they were in my situation. I told her that I do YouTube, and she told me that she thinks that's a wonderful idea. She basically validated me coming on here and talking to you guys, and as a way of expressing myself, as a way of connecting with other people who are also dealing with the same things that I'm dealing with. To know that you're not alone is so huge. To know that you're not the only one in this world who has these struggles and who feels the way you feel, and it's just, it's freeing to know that it's not in your head, you know. I can't tell you how many times I've been told that by doctors, and I know her mom had some weird health condition. I can't remember what it was, but She said that she went through the same thing. Years of doctor visits, years of tests that came back negative and this and that, and trying to get a proper diagnosis, and doctors just thinking like, oh, well, they can't come up with it, so therefore it's in your head. You don't really have it, because if they can't come up with it, it doesn't exist. And those were her words, and she used to be a nurse. So she's like, I understand, doctors can be very prideful, and if it's something like they didn't think of it themselves, therefore you don't have it because they didn't think of it. And I have come across that so many times, it's unbelievable. Oh, my stomach is really starting to hurt right now. I think I'm stressing myself out a little bit because I started talking about emotional things, and my body doesn't do stress. It doesn't handle stress. It doesn't handle emotion. Basically, anytime I get excited, nervous, scared, upset, my gut, it throws a fit, and it decides that it's going to have a little volcano party inside my stomach. Yeah. It's very unpleasant. My body is just like, nope, you don't do stress. I won't feel stressed like physically. I mean, like emotionally, like I'm not like, oh, I'm so stressed out. But my stomach is super upset, and then I'll take a step back and be like, wow, I'm really stressed right now. Like, even though I didn't feel like it is, my stomach was like, you are. So we just gotta take a second and breathe. So, yeah, my counselor gets me. She understands. She believes me. She validates me. I mean, obviously, she's not like validating things that aren't true. You know, she wouldn't do that. But the things that I'm feeling are true, and the things that I'm dealing with are real. And it's so nice to have someone completely removed from the situation that knows nothing about anything besides what I tell her. And I try to be, you know, obviously tell her the truth, because there's no... I don't get why people lie to their doctors or they lie to counselors, because, like, you're not going to get the proper help if you lie to them. Like, just tell them the truth. They're the confidentiality laws. Like, they can't tell anyone else, you know? But I'm just, like, raw and honest with her, and it helps me to be raw and honest with myself, too. Like, I realize some things... Oh, my gut. I might have to quit this video and come back in a few minutes. Hopefully I can get through this, though. So I realized some things that I was talking to her, like, with this YouTube thing. It's like, I was telling her, like, yeah, I started it to, like, bring awareness to chronic illness and to connect with others in the community and just show what it's really like living day to day, because a lot of people just don't understand. A lot of people just... It's one of those things, unless you've personally been through it, you just can't understand. And so I want to bring as much awareness as possible to living with chronic illness, living with chronic fatigue syndrome, and everything that I deal with. But I realized, and I realized this as I was talking to her, and she kind of said, like, yeah, she thinks it's true too, it's therapy for me. Do some of you guys, like, feel that? Like, getting in front of the camera and, like, being able to talk about the things that are just going on in your life and the things that are bothering you, and being able to vent and, like, not be judged by those around you. It's a freeing experience, and she was very, very glad that I'm doing this, because she said that it's kind of like video journaling, because she was asking me, do I journal or do I have a diary or anything? I've never been a journal person. I've never been a diary person. I remember when I was a kid, I'd be like, I need to keep a diary, because that's what all little girls do. They keep diaries. And I'd write in it a little bit, and then I would just forget about it. And a couple years later, I'd be like, oh, I had a diary. And I'd write a little bit more, and then I'd forget. So I've never been that kind of person, but being able to sit and talk here, and even though, like, I'm talking to a screen, and I mean, I'm talking to you guys, obviously, but you know what I mean. Like, I don't get the immediate feedback. It's still just empowering, and it helps just to get it out and talk about it, you know. So yeah, she very much encouraged me to continue doing the YouTube thing. She said that she thinks that it's such a wonderful idea. So that was good, because lately I've been having doubts about it, you know. And she just reaffirmed what I felt already, and helped me to realize that this is therapeutic for me, along with other things. So as much, you know, the whole point of me starting this was to help you guys, but I think it's helping me maybe more, or at least I hope that I can help you as much as it's helped me. You've helped me, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, it was really good. She prayed over me, and I cried a lot. I'm not a person who cries easily, and this is not always a good thing, because I used to get teased by my brothers and my dad when I was a kid, when I would cry, because I was the only girl in the house for quite a long time, and I get picked on, and they didn't mean it like in a mean way at all. They were just, you know, like my dad especially, like he didn't mean it in a mean way. I know he didn't mean it in a mean way. He just was like, oh, you know, it's okay, be tough, you know. And but that really affected me to the point of where I learned not to cry, and now I can't cry when I need to cry. So it actually like did damage, because now I'm like, I'll start to cry a little bit, and like I'm just like, okay, I'm done. Like 30 seconds later I stop crying, and then I'm like, I need to cry, I need to get this out, and I can't. So being able to just cry, and it wasn't just like a little tear, like it was like, it wasn't like sobbing, but it was to the point where just continuous streams down my face, and it was very healing to cry and to have it be prayed over, and to realize that I'm doing the absolute best that I can do given my situation, and I'm actually doing pretty good given my situation, which is nice to hear, you know, that like, wow, I'm doing this, I'm fighting, I'm pushing through, and it shows, you know, and she can see it, even though hasn't seen me in 2 years, and even though we just literally talked for an hour, she can see that I have hope, and I have Jesus, you guys. Like, I know not every one of you is a Christian or believes in God, but I just don't understand, honestly, how you can't, because to me, like, my Jesus is everything to me. He is the reason why I live. He is the reason why I have this hope, why I can wake up in the morning and continue, why I don't end it all, you know, because there are people in my situation who have, and who have given up. And I'm not doing that, and I can tell you the only reason is because Jesus. He is my hope and my joy, and I hope that shines through, you know? Even on the bad days, I always have joy, even though I don't necessarily feel it. Like, there's a difference between happiness and joy, and you can be very, very depressed and still have joy. And I do. And unless you've experienced that, I don't think you really understand what I'm saying. But I don't know. To me, my faith is such a part of who I am. And my Jesus is my everything. And I don't really know what else to say. My stomach is really, really upset. I'm gonna have to go use the bathroom here in a minute, so I think I'm gonna go, plus it's already a 20-minute video. I don't know how to do short videos, you guys. I'm just kind of like reserved to the fact that, you know what, I'm just gonna have long videos. If you guys don't like them, then don't watch them. But I like long videos, so hopefully there's some of you out there who will enjoy this and are still watching, even though it's 20 minutes into the video. If you are, hi, thank you, you're awesome. Please give this a thumbs up, if you would. And subscribe and do all the good things that you do. So yeah, good day, good talk with the counselor. Tomorrow I see my doctor, my naturopath. We're going to discuss the fact that I've gotten worse on this protocol, and most likely figure out, okay, where do we go from here? What do we do? What are the next steps? Do I add medication? Do we take stuff away? Do I do this or that? I don't know. I'll let you guys all know tomorrow. Oh, excuse me. I'll let you all know tomorrow what's going on with me as far as my Lyme's and all that stuff goes. And then as soon as I get that figured out, then I'm going to be making an appointment with my counselor again. And we're basically going to be, now that we kind of have like all of it caught up, like she knows what's been happening in my life, we're going to start going into how I can deal with it in a healthy way. So I love you all so much. Like, I can't tell you how much it means to me that you would sit here and watch me ramble on for 20 something minutes. Like, honestly, I'm so thankful to each and every one of you. So I will see you all tomorrow and let you know what my doctor said. Bye.